Today in America, we have a different type of alien invasion. Not the Mexican kind, but the extraterrestrial kind.
So many drone UFO things that are the size of minivans have been seen over people's houses, specifically in New Jersey. We're going to talk about that today.
Instead of a wall, we might need a dome to protect us from these aliens.
How would we build this dome? What would it be made of?
Bricks? Maybe some type of extraterrestrial repellent. Maybe bug spray of some sort. Maybe solar panels that are really sticky so when the alien ships hit them, they get caught. We don't know, but we're going to discuss all that today. And in this episode, we have a UFO expert coming on. Harrison.
It's not me.
Well, it's not him, but...
A lot of people think that he is an alien, but he has to assure them he doesn't speak Spanich.
Yeah, Harrison.
In summer, he gets really tan.
All the time. And when we went to Mexico, everybody thought he was Hispanic.
You know what would be an interesting UFO defense? Have you seen those car cases that are inflatable bubbles? And people like throw the wrenches and shit at them, and then they just bounce off. One of those over the state of New Jersey.
That would be pretty good. Or a giant fishing net. That they put
just
up.
fly
If they're
through the holes.
No, they said
How would that help?
They said they're coming up through. I'm sorry, not a fishing net. They say they're coming from the water. So what they could do is put a giant, like a giant net, right, with a replica New Jersey next to the real one in somewhere like Delaware, and then the ships could come in and they'd catch them and they'd close the net around the ships.
Let's just be honest. It's New Jersey. I think we can just let it be.
This is the biggest twist of all.
You know,
the
that's a
shittiest state
funny-
in America is the #1 tax site.
That reminds me of a really, really good meme that I saw today. And it was the face the genie makes when I nuke New Jersey a third time, just to be sure.
Wait, I don't get it. Explain that joke to me.
So you get 3 wishes from genie.
Oh, actually, I didn't catch the 3 part.
He drops 3 consecutive nukes on New Jersey.
Wait, what if just the entire Jersey Shore cast are like the aliens that are going to be brought home or something like that?
Wait, do you have that
Like
meme?
Snooki.
No.
We should start pulling up stuff.
That was a
Well,
really good one.
What I want to do is I want to go through TikTok and read comments on videos that are really mean. And maybe we can like sync the TikTok into the video somehow and you know what I'm saying?
Do mean comment reviews?
Well, that'd be a whole segment. I don't know. We could do that aside from the podcast.
Yeah, that's a segment, but today we're just talking about UFOs.
UFOs. We should do that. And another one, the next time we film, we'll take another half hour. We just scroll TikTok and watch the video. We put it up next to us, and then we read the comments.
Yeah, and then we comment on it too.
We comment on it too.
Mm-hmm.
That would be good, but that's not. We'll start to implement that into our format. In the
I
next
like
week.
reacting. I just shot a bunch of reacting videos for my animation page.
Really? Did you?
They're very interesting. Yeah.
Oh wow.
They're pretty good.
Yeah, but so back to the UFOs, not Cameron's fuck ass page. There's
My
a
fuck ass page has 2,000% more followers than your fuck ass podcast.
2,000%.
Yeah.
All right. Okay.
200 times versus
All right. Let's
20,000.
get on with the topic now. This is the podcast where I talk and I'm the star, not you. Let's get into
This
that.
is a podcast while I talk and everyone else has to listen.
It's not
You know,
funny.
guys,
It's
we
fine.
didn't even have to be here today because Quinn's just going to fucking edit this and it's just going to be shots of
It's not
him.
funny,
And he's going to take all of our one-word
trying.
answers, yes, no,
Because I'm trying
absolutely.
to talk.
Hang on, let's get all this out of the way right now. Ha ha ha, Quinn, you're so funny. Ha ha ha. So he can take that shot now and just put it at the end of every single thing he says, like we know he'll do. And that's the content.
All right. Well, let's please. Can you guys stop? Because I'm trying to do this seriously. Stop it.
Have we explained why we have these hats on?
No, we don't need to.
We haven't touched
Well, it's
on
for,
that
well,
yet.
this is this anti-alien rape device. Or basically,
So
it's
they
a
don't-
spot. It's a
If
se-
they
if they're
try to
get-
fly down to the surface, they're the ones getting probed.
Yeah, they're the ones who
Okay.
get probed.
This is so they don't.
This is a seat for the
fuck our
aliens.
minds.
And it's a brain protection device. It's protection. UFOs in Zimbabwe.
It's a seat for the.
Put it on. For the mind rape you.
Yeah, so they don't mind rape us. We ass rape them.
Yeah,
in In Zimbabwe in 1994, there was actually an incident that was reported where a bunch of school kids were sitting at recess out on the playground, and then a legitimate UFO ship or flying saucer came in, and then the aliens got out of the ship, actually raped a bunch of the kids. No, they came down, and the kids they remember it to this day. The entire class saw aliens, and they spoke to them. Apparently, I do believe that happened. I mean, why would a bunch of
Of all
children
places,
make that up?
Zimbabwe.
Where was it?
Zimbabwe.
Couldn't it go somewhere where they
Dehydration
had, like,
does stuff to you.
Well, it was like a-
couldn't stop in a country that has.
That's pretty funny,
Well, couldn't-
How long have you gone without water? You probably started to see shit
Well,
too.
couldn't they have stopped in
Yeah,
a,
but it was in the-
country that has like text so they could record it and film
No,
it?
you would be surprised.
They
It
stopped
wasn't
somewhere
guys,
where
it
they
wasn't
have
like a native tribe. It was like
sticks
legit.
and
Like
rocks.
it was like English people. It was like a private school.
Oh, it wasn't like a.
It wasn't like a tribe.
It
no.
wasn't like a tribal like.
No.
Fire
It was
thing?
like it was like they're like English speakers.
Yeah, they
like
made
South
a whole,
African.
They made a whole movie
Probably.
about how a bottle of Coke was their god. So.
Oh my god!
Crazy.
God,
No, but they are like credible
Holy
source.
Stupid.
I think 6-year-olds. It's funny because they came
Yeah.
down.
Wait. Stop. Repeat that
Wait,
slowly.
The 6-year-olds are a credible
They're
source.
all 6-year-old.
Around, but they're older now, and they still
Obviously.
believe it.
At the time, they were 6-year-olds.
Yes, which I find funny because it's like aliens are gonna come down, and the people that they
You
make
find it
contact
funny?
with
I can think
are
of another
fucking
word.
kindergartners. Aliens come to speak to us, and they speak to
Well,
kindergartners.
if they were the tiny 3-foot aliens, they thought, oh, they must be our age. If
Yeah.
they go to the toddlers,
They get along.
they get along.
Oh,
Be
yeah,
like,
so
where
they-
are the elders of the village? They're there, down there.
They're about
These are the higher life forms clearly because of the same
Because they're
height.
lower.
Yeah, they're about a foot taller than us, and they were little gray men. That's what they described.
They were the tiny ones. Well, that explains why they went for kids.
Oh, I have a really crazy story about aliens actually.
UFOs or.
Yeah, I was getting dinner, and this lady walked up to our table, and started to
Dinner
talk
where?
to us. I was at Cafe Amici, and this woman walked over and started to have a conversation, and she first started talking about her back pain, and then she started talking about how she overcame her back pain and went on to play piano in the Olympics.
In the Olympics.
In the Olympics.
Were there drugs involved in her back pain recovery? That might be the answer.
She specifically
Pull
said
out
that she
morphine?
chose not to take the drugs.
Really?
Which is interesting after what she said next. She said, and listen, here's the thing. When I got back from Vietnam, aliens had taken over.
Interesting.
You have to look out for the Celestials, the Reptilians, the Gray Men, and there's one other kind I forgot. But she listed off the 4 kinds
The
of aliens.
Vietnamese.
No,
And
it's
it was
usually
the crazy-
like
it was
the
the most-
Greys, the reptilians, and like the insectoid or something like.
And Celestial, which is like...
Was she like well put together, or was she
Was
like
she
a
not?
crazy?
No,
like-
apparently the waiter came over afterwards and was like, she comes in here and causes problems like that all the
Oh
time.
god.
But
That's funny. Wait, was
she
she
came
was she
over-
like well put together? Would you
That's
guess she was out of her
everybody
mind, or
worked
did she look like she was?
Not until she opened her mouth.
You know what's funny is
I thought she was just like this nice old lady, and then she walked over and started talking about Mark Zuckerberg fucking reptiles and shit. I was like, you're nuts.
This is like word for word how the people I work with.
Yeah, she probably escaped, honestly.
I had the other day. Speaking of crazies, well, not crazy, but must have been crazy. I was
No,
outside
that's
of
crazy.
7-Eleven, and then this homeless man walked up to me and asked me for change. I said I actually don't have any, and I didn't have change. Otherwise, I'd give it to him. And then I said I walked back in, and then I decided I'm gonna be a good person. So I went. I said, "Would you like
Probably
something to
bitch in
eat?
the ass.
Would you like something to eat?" And he goes and says, "Yeah, like a pack of Newport 100s." And I was like,
I said food.
yeah, I'll see what I can do, man. And I went inside. Then he has the audacity to come up to me and start telling me the cigarettes he wants when I'm fucking checking out. I was like, sorry, dude, I'm not 21. I am 25, so I'm 21. I'm older. But I told him that. It's like you give a homeless people an inch and they take a foot. Up here, up the road, some guy asked if I could buy him food, so I did. He starts saying, let me get Red Bulls, and starts buying 3 Red Bulls for him and his wife, like $15 later. It's like,
Did you buy it?
yeah, I was like, whatever. If the Red Bull's the only thing you have in life, whatever. But it's like, I'm sick of getting taken advantage of when I go to homeless people and like I try to like.
Well, there's the problem. You're going.
That's
to
why
homeless
you don't
people.
No. But it's funny. They got
You don't seek them out.
If they come to me, it was like ridiculous. It was like, dude, I would help you, and I don't. If cigarettes were $5, I'd give you the $5. I don't care what you buy. I'm not here to judge you.
There's
But
very
$50,
there's
bro.
there's a handful of times that I've actually decided to go and help, and usually when I do, I feel because I'm very selective.
They
If
take
it's-
advantage.
If it seems genuine and legit, I like to help them out. But no, yeah, most of the time they're just gonna try to run up the tab on you.
Honestly,
buy cigarettes.
most
and
of them are drug
whatever else.
addicts. I mean, there's people down on their luck, and I've helped a few of those out, and I think it's fair. Most of the time, though, they literally try to like take advantage, or they go up to me because they see me and I'm a younger guy, and maybe I look naive, and they think I'm an idiot, and they put that mark on me because they ignore everyone else.
Seems like they go to the young people.
If you ignore, I've ignored homeless people, and then they don't ever come up to you, and it's like if you're rude to them, they know to stay away. If you're polite, they'll take advantage of you. In New York City, it's the same way. But in New York City,
I had
you'll
about,
go broke in
about
New
a
York
month
City.
ago. I had outside of a 7-Eleven, a girl asking for money, and she was like our age, and she looked like.
It's drugs. Drugs.
But also, yeah, she's probably like a just starting like crackhead or something. But
It's
she
always
was-
drugs. It's
I think she was wearing pajamas,
Level
which
one.
was one.
It's the
giveaway.
only. It's
But
the-
literally like our age, like it looked like a 20-something.
I think it comes down to having a dysfunctional childhood of some degree that then leads to taking drugs and then being a dysfunctional adult. That's
Yeah,
that.
that's exactly
It's every person who's
where it
like that
goes.
is on drugs. It's the only way you never get your shit together.
I gave her 50 cents.
You're an asshole.
What?
You're an
That's
asshole.
all I had.
You
No,
gave her 50
no,
cents.
I don't mean it in a dick way. She first asked me for.
I know you don't, Harrison.
She asked
but-
me for $1, and
I know.
I said if I have change, I said I was on my way in. I'm buying like a Monster or something, And then I said, if I have change, I'll give you something. And then I had like 50 cents left.
One time.
So then I gave it to her, and then I was like, I have this, and then she's like, anything will help. And I'm like, okay. And the weirdest part is she wouldn't touch I think she had like a germophobic problem. It was like she wouldn't touch my hand.
She wouldn't touch.
But she had she was one of those like the goth kids in school used to cover their hands with the sleeves.
Yeah.
She would do that. I'm trying to drop the change in her hand, and she's like this. She moves her hand. She like pulls it down. I'm like, what the fuck?
Should offer to get her some hand sanitizer also.
And I'm trying to like put it in her hand, and she keeps pulling her hand away.
Okay, don't take it.
And I'm like, good God. And I'm like, all right, I see. She doesn't want to touch me. So then I lift my hand up and I drop it in. And then she like takes it, like snatches it. Like
I used to be so broke in college. You know you're poor when you use coins to pay for things at 7-Eleven. You know you're broke when you start like Googling the value of the coins you're using to see if they're worth any money.
I mean, I haven't done that part.
So
I did. I like Google the quarters. I'd be like, is this worth
anything? I
anything?
change a lot in college.
Totally.
I still use
I took the good luck money someone put in my car off of the off. That's my rock bottom. I took like someone tied $5 to the corner of the car for good luck. When you get it, I took that and spent it on gas. I was so poor in college. It was ridiculous.
See, what happened with me was it actually worked out pretty well. I would pay with coins and stuff, and then if there was ever a single coin left over, I'd put it in that little, like, it's not a tip jar, but it's something there for them where you leave the coins. So I would always leave them the extra stuff. And then on days where I didn't have enough money, they'd just be like, just take it, you're good. I would always be sure to like give them like more coins.
I started doing that just so I could get that benefit.
There's a real struggle.
Asshole.
Larson, you're 26 now. You shouldn't, with the job, you shouldn't be doing that.
Yeah, this is when I was in college. I was
this
broke.
is the struggle of like being in a normal middle class family, but being a college student, because it's like, yes, there's a roof over my head, my essentials are paid for, but like I still have a Jeep Wrangler that I need to afford gas for. You know what I'm saying? So it's like I was paying for gas with quarters in college, which was ridiculous. It's like, because you have a cool car, it's a really weird place, and it's a group of people that is often overlooked, is middle class people who are in college that don't have money to afford and maintain the expensive things that their parents bought them.
Exactly.
I wouldn't wish being middle class on my worst enemy. It fucking sucks, okay? Instead of getting like the brand new car, you get like the 3 year older car. Bullshit.
Yeah, like.
One time we had our friends on our boat in high school, and we had about 12 people on the boat, and then the boat started to go down and sink. So I had to kick my friends off the boat because my dad can't get a bigger boat. It's fucking embarrassing, to be quite honest with you.
I was really
ridiculous. I yelled at him so hard that night.
Yeah, it was really bullshit. He hasn't bought a bigger boat.
Yeah.
Still hasn't done. He hasn't gotten his shit together.
Again, I wouldn't wish being middle class on my worst enemy.
On your worst nightmare?
My worst enemy. I've done it. It's not fun.
I had a really good thought, I just totally lost it.
We should discuss Luigi and the shooter.
Yo.
Luigi
fucking
is the shooter.
Snitchy McSnitch fuck at McDonald's.
Yeah.
Who's now not getting his money.
Right. Proves
Serves you right, asshole.
Fuck him.
Fuck that guy.
And I'm
He
listening.
should get his money.
McDonald's is getting an overwhelming amount of negative reviews because everyone's like, yeah, this guy will tell everyone what I ordered. Like, it's just, that particular location is getting completely cooked. Everyone hates.
Why did he go inside? Why not go in the drive-thru?
Listen, the guy had to not be all there, to be honest with you, because he did half the stuff right to get away, and then the other things that made no sense is where it was so confusing. He used the silencer, he 3D printed the ghost gun, but then he took his mask down and smiled at a receptionist. And then he bought Starbucks, so it was like he was playing with half a deck because he was doing half things right.
That's not really
the most. Was it like a girl he was like smiling at?
Yeah, but if I'm gonna go kill someone, I'm not gonna be flirting.
I think just.
Well,
the pussy will do that to you.
Yeah.
Just,
he's a dog.
Yeah.
So I'm not gonna hate him on that
but
one.
I heard he got recognized at McDonald's because of his eyebrows, and I didn't know how recognizable they were until I saw a photo of him. And that's why I'm like, holy fuck.
You should have just shaved them so they weren't recognizable.
He should have shaved them. But more so, the thing that makes me think he's not all there is the fact that after his trip through Central Park and pulling all this Riddler bullshit, he decides to travel across 3 states with the evidence.
Yeah, he didn't ever get
days later.
He kept
he didn't change clothes. He didn't dump all the stuff out. He just decided to keep it and then sit there and wait to get arrested with a manifesto, everything. So I mean, maybe he wanted to get caught.
That's possible.
I don't entirely get it. I mean, Listen, if you get killed like that, my immediate thought was the guy probably had it coming to him. Because you're, do we have a second battery for that camera?
Yeah.
Okay, so we only have 30 minutes on the card, you were saying?
Mm-hmm.
So we'll run another couple minutes, and then we'll get our...
I'll finish this segment and then get the UFO.
We'll get our UFO expert on.
Yeah. So we're going to finish up our discussion on health.
I'm just curious.
I'm rolling again, so
Let's
whenever
run
we want
this,
to get back
let's
to
run
it.
this conversation.
Hang on, let me start with my segue over again.
Is it on?
Yep. Alright, so we're going to finish up our discussion on healthcare in America, and then we're going to go back to these UFOs. We've brought in an expert today on drones, aliens, and all things supernatural, paranormal, and flying. So, healthcare in America. Fuck around and find out.
Yeah, I mean, everybody's sitting here saying, oh, it's not the right thing to do. And you're never supposed
honestly,
to...
Who said that? Who said?
Someone who's never been fucked over.
Yeah, no. If you've been fucked over, my rule is,
If
if my rule, do not fuck with people's lives. If you fuck with people's lives, you're gonna get what's coming to you. You should not be out here. I mean, this guy pretty much commits murder at a mass scale under a corporate bail.
Insider trading
every
too.
day, and insider
people,
trading.
He's fucked people financially.
Now this may be a stretch, but Osama bin...
hurt anybody, though?
Hear me out. What?
How does insider trading hurt anybody?
That's just
because the stock. Anybody who has stocks, he cashed out on his. He knew that they were gonna tank or whatever. And other people are taking the hit, whereas you
I would just
cash
out
out and take money.
If I knew information, I would like just tell people.
Yeah, then they'd have that
I help
information
them.
and they'd all pull out and there would be no money left for you.
I would
Actually,
just,
don't
if we're
lie.
all
You'd be
gonna
a white collar criminal if you could.
Okay, no, but if we're all gonna go down, then like
no, it doesn't work like that.
No, that's the whole point.
Yeah.
But if the guy, I mean, to put it like this, Osama bin Laden for the longest time was public enemy number one. He killed around 3,000 Americans, right? So think about how many thousands, tens of thousands of Americans these CEOs of insurance companies kill by not giving them the proper medical care when they need it. So they're committing murder under a corporate, under the cover of a corporation. Are they any better than a guy like Osama bin Laden? I say no. And they get paid and make millions of dollars to do it.
They used AI, right? They had so many denied claims.
Yeah.
He did
and
not.
that's people who need life-saving surgeries.
Totally.
That's people with cancer. It's children.
Well, the whole
the whole
point,
tough shit, man.
This guy would fuck
shot.
you. This guy would fuck you and your family over in a heartbeat if it meant he could make $1. Don't get it twisted. He doesn't give a shit about anybody but himself, you know. And yeah, that's exactly the way it is.
Yes,
I think the whole
I'm
point,
not
though,
particularly torn up about it.
And it's not an anti-rich thing. I don't care if he's rich, but when you make your money by exploiting other people who are sick and dying, you're a piece of shit human being.
If the CEO of Arizona Iced Tea was gunned down today, I would weep.
Yeah,
but that's not going to happen. You know why? Because he has not
it.
once inflated his prices. He's kept them true, and
Always
he says we're making money, we're profitable, we're debt free, and people don't need to worry about what they're going to drink next. They have enough financial burden. That's why nobody's gunned him down.
That's a good seed.
Exactly, and their company's located on Long Island, so they're local. So I think
Arizona's on Long Island.
Ironically, Arizona Iced Tea's in Hempstead.
I wouldn't actually shoot anybody.
Yeah, it's
in Hempstead.
The whole thing's in Hempstead. Let's get the UFO expert on now.
Okay, guys, so we are going to bring on the expert of UFOs now, and we're going to see what he has to say about the SUVs flying over New Jersey.
SUVs.
All right, let's cut that. Let's get him on. All right, can you go get him? Leave your own here.
Okay, am I good here?
Okay, you can sit down. Sure, yeah. Good, very professional for a UFO expert.
Well, you're not going to see, right, these?
No, you're not going to see him at all.
Are you or you're not?
No.
Invite you to our podcast and
Dressed like shit.
couldn't
Oh,
even
start
wear a
recording.
suit.
Are you recording?
We're already rolling.
This is our expert, and he shows up looking like a 15-year-old girl at a Justin Bieber concert.
What's up?
You guys probably couldn't tell, but this is the expert.
All right, put that
All right.
on.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the podcast. Today we have our expert on UFOs and flying unidentified phenomenon. He's going to give his take on the large unidentified objects we've seen over New Jersey. Welcome to the show.
Good to be here. Thanks for having me.
So, you've reviewed the footage. What do you think?
Well, I've seen a lot of footage on the TV and lots of different sizes of drones. And it's just a shame that a lot of these people can only go get so close to them with their cameras that it leaves a lot of doubt as to what they really are. Some of them look like the drones I would fly, only bigger. The ones that look like the Tic Tacs, definitely something to consider as a very serious matter.
What's your experience with UFOs, and why should anybody listening to this care what you say.
What do you find so
Well, Cameron, hold
menacing
on.
about the TikToks?
I just asked a question. Let's let him fucking answer that. How about that?
Okay. Why should they care what I say?
Yeah.
Well, they shouldn't. But if they want to listen, that's fine. I don't care what you think or say. Everybody's entitled to their own opinion.
What do you have to say to the people who are looking at you right now saying, this guy's out of his mind, this guy's wearing tinfoil on
Would
his
it
hat
be because of the tinfoil hat?
and pajamas?
Ignore that. And the pajamas, ignore that.
And there's people out there probably saying a lot of other negative things about you. Like
really...
you're stupid and you look like an idiot on this show. What do you say to them?
Oh, well, I'll say never come on this show if you want to be insulted like that.
I'm not insulting you. I'm saying what people are probably thinking. This is not my opinion at all.
It's what other people, a lot of other people
are thinking.
Or not us. A lot of other people are thinking, saying, not us. We just want to know what you think about that.
Well, if you put the hat aside, right, you can, extrapolate from whatever I say, and form your opinions as you please. But I'm not the only one that's saying this. Everybody's seeing these drones, and nobody's got a real explanation. It's a funny thing, though. I've flown drones for years. I've built them long before you could walk into Best Buy, right, and buy one off the shelf with all the technology that I used to hack and put into my drone along with a buddy of mine.
So your working theory is that the drones were acquired by the aliens at Best Buy and deployed over New Jersey.
Oh, that's a good assumption. Yeah, quite possible, and they may have a lot more come Christmas with all the
we can
deals.
find this out right now. It could have been a surge in drones because of Black Friday sales at Best Buy.
Mm-hmm.
If you check right now on the internet, Cameron, is there a Best Buy?
See if there's a sale.
So we actually have contacts at Best Buy. So I will use my contacts, my network of people I know at Best Buy. We're gonna figure out if there was a spike in drone sales this year.
Well, you can just Google it.
Mm-hmm.
See if they had a Black Friday sale. These are the things.
Everybody has Black Friday.
No, we're using my
sales.
inside contacts to figure out exactly what the deals are this holiday season on the drones. Maybe that's how these extraterrestrials were able to acquire this hardware.
Because he's connected.
I have contacts.
I mean, listen, you think about it. Everybody's worrying about these aliens coming across the border. I think we've got bigger problems with aliens right now.
Yeah.
We could shoot those Jewish lasers at them. Maybe we should talk to Marjorie about that. See what she's got to say.
So what you're saying is that you believe that the Amish community has counter defenses prepared.
How did the Amish get into this?
You're the one who's brought up Jewish people.
They're not Amish are not Jewish.
So explain to me, what are they?
Amish, well, they're a group of people that make really good furniture in Pennsylvania.
They're a community of people who all wear little caps, much like us.
I feel like a Hershey Kiss right now. Don't you?
Well, it's actually super advanced technology to
I know you might think this is funny, but we're...
On a serious note, a more serious note, again, I've flown drones for years. Then the FAA, they come up with this...
what does that stand for, FAA? Just to educate
Federal
the audience?
Aviation Authority.
Okay.
So they come up, and they control all air flight and airspace.
Because there are people out there who thought that it stood for Flying Airplane Association. So just to clear that up, it doesn't mean that.
Yeah, it absolutely does not mean that. But they came up with their rules and regulations with respect to controlling airspace for drones. Here we are now, in 2024. We have a whole load of drones all over the United States, and they can't control diddly. So, why are we paying this money to them for registrations? And they can't even tell you who owns these drones.
I gotta tell you guys, it's easy to get away with it. I fly a drone every single day of my life for my professional career. Mm-hmm. And everyone asks me if I'm properly licensed and insured. You betcha.
What do you say?
I'm not.
So
I'm not.
They made a good point, though.
Incidentally,
I don't have any of those credentials. This is not one, but I tell them I do.
They made a good.
And I have access to these drones. I'm able to fly.
I want to talk now. They made a good point.
You're gonna have to wait.
On the with some of these drones, some of them look like airplanes, some of them look like actual corporate drones or military level drones. Now the thing is, what if some of those are possibly airplanes that are just being mistaken for drones, and then some are actually quadricopter type drones, or there's a combination of the two?
Well, let me say this. Yeah, combination of the two. A lot of individuals out there classify, well, they talk about the word drone or drones, Drone typically means, if you're being correct, a quadricopter, meaning 4 propellers or 5, depending on the design of the model, the framework. That's a drone, but a drone could also be a plane. When they have cameras and they're or they're controlled remotely, then they become drones. And you can have drones that are fully equipped with cameras, etc. I have them myself. You can fly them at night with FLIR and with light spectrum cameras, and you can fly them anywhere you want. But you could have them in delta wing form. They could be, and that would be an airplane. There could be 7-foot wingspan gliders, or they could be quads.
Could it be
they could be
8-foot?
all sorts. They could be whatever you want.
Now,
if you make them.
What's oh my god, I just forgot my point. I was going to say something very...
Must have been really important.
No, it actually was. It was...
You need to tighten your hat there, buddy.
No, they said that the drones have been, they were coming out of the water, and that the Coast Guard says that they were coming in packs off the shore. Oh, also, yeah, no, this is really concerning. They said they were coming out of the... At first I thought there's no way it's nothing other than military, but the Pentagon came out and said it's not military. Maybe it's a military contractor. They didn't say that. They can be tricky, the government people. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Also, you notice how the news is... Yeah, but they were coming off... The Coast Guard and the police said that they saw a pack of 50 of them coming off of the shore, and they chased a Coast Guard ship, which is interesting. Why would our own government be doing that? But the other thing is, you notice how the news is branding it as drones, when by definition they are UFOs, unidentified flying objects, or UAPs, unidentified aerial phenomenon, but they're calling them drones.
We don't use the word UAP here.
Yeah, that's the misnomer right there.
They're not drones, they're UFOs.
They don't know what they're talking about. People, it's a drone. I mean, anything could be a drone. That's my point that I made earlier.
Yeah.
It could be an airplane. It could be a
drone implies that it's not something like extraterrestrial. Paranormal.
Yeah, it sounds like anytime something's weaponized with a camera,
it's drone.
It's a drone. But now that you mention it,
there's a lot of drone-phobic people out there that freak out and shoot drones from the sky.
I would have. You cannot shoot. Just so you know, you cannot shoot a drone even if it's a Best Buy drone out of the air, because the FAA has now certified those drones as airplanes. So if you're thinking of shooting one, don't. That's a felony. Just so you know, from somebody who flies drones. We don't like it, and you don't have the right to do that. So never do that. But to your point, Christopher Columbus years ago. Hundreds of years ago, when he was doing his voyages back and forth to America, he would write in his log that him and his crew observed lights coming out of the water and flying into space. So it goes back quite some time. So there's history and there's evidence of that happening. But with respect to today, I do make an interesting observation. That is, a lot of it is around coastal areas, I understand. So, that leads to that Fox News thing about a alert
Iranian
mothership offshore. Well, that's ridiculous to begin with. If you really want facts, you shouldn't go to Fox to begin with, right? If you go to Fox, you're misinformed, ill-informed, and underinformed. Anybody, any commercial airline, right, would see this mothership. Any freight shipping container company would see a mothership. So it just doesn't happen. Plus
the mothership is a commercial airliner or a freight ship.
Unless it's sitting in space, but even in space they have satellites. Shit. Elon Musk could tell you about that, right? Doesn't he have all the satellites all over the place? Well, so it's not correct.
I thought it could have been a like a company like Walmart that's maybe just testing out drones and just like the way Google Map does. But the government said that they've asked these mega companies and they're not them. I honestly don't know what it is.
I don't think so.
I think it could be a stretch. I think it could be. At first I was like, no, it's definitely just humans flying them. I don't actually know. Well, it's pretty weird that the Pentagon's come out and said it's not us.
Here's what's interesting.
I don't trust the government, but
from a drone operator. A major problem for all of us, even back years ago and not so much today, but we've never been able to produce battery power long enough to keep any of those drones, even the smaller drones, up in the air for like more than 30 minutes. Yeah. I understand these drones are massive.
We've compared them to minivans.
To minivans.
Or big vans.
They're staying in the air for several hours. So I'd love to know what power source they're working on right there. Maybe some Elon Musk batteries, God knows. But That's interesting. But some of them look like they're just manufactured or homemade. The other ones, like the Tic Tac video, that's something to be seriously
That would be
concerned
much more
about.
concerning if those were in the sky.
Yes.
These look like the. Well, I mean, I have no idea. Like, if we were seeing, like, there has been an upscale up in UFO sightings. I was at the beach a couple weeks ago before this started happening. And I will include the video. But I saw, out of nowhere comes this Tic Tac shaped thing through the sky. I've seen so many planes in my life. This was not a plane. And it just casually made its way through the sky until it was way over the water. This was at the beach in a secluded area. These are not those. That was like a UFO. I've never seen anything like that in my life. These look like drones, and they're only coming out at night. And I don't actually know what to think.
Well, that's first off, it's an interesting thing that you mentioned that. Now, again, I know planes. Planes have to travel at a fast enough speed to keep themselves up, even with full flaps. They need to keep themselves up in the air, so you can't just go along like that. What Quinn had filmed was an elongated cigar-shaped craft, and there was no distinctive markings, obviously, and no distinctive wings or ailerons or rudders that you could see. It definitely was not an airplane. So, and it was flying during the day, so clearly whoever was flying it or whatever it was didn't care. These drones we're seeing nowadays, they happen to be all flying at night. Now, I happen to know that you can remotely control all those lights and knock them off at any time if you want to disappear, and then land at a GPS location that you marked before you took off. So maybe that's what they're doing, and that's how they're accounting for this miraculous disappearance, and nobody can track them. But again, I go back to my point. FAA, they could track me with my $400 drone, and they can't do anything with these guys sitting, 400 feet away from them.
I find it hard to believe that nobody has any clue at all what's going on, and the most well-defended, highly funded government in the world is just clueless about these things in the sky, and they can't shoot them down. To me, that either means that we know what they are, and we can't shoot them down because we don't want to start some conflict with whatever they are, or they're with America.
You don't want to piss
We
off some
consider
alien
the
we haven't
fact
met
that
yet.
It's over New Jersey, and for that reason, we just don't care enough.
Yeah.
Do you know how much those missiles cost?
Yeah, it's not worth New Jersey.
What about the ones in New York, though?
They're not a lot.
Different story.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's a good point.
How about a health plan for aliens, Not the ones coming over the border, but the ones landing?
Well, Christopher, thank you for coming out to our podcast to be a UFO expert. I think that you gave some really good, insightful stuff, and then towards the end, you kind of dipped off there and maybe fucked up the podcast a little bit.
Oh, I think I was carrying it there for a while when you were happy.
Well, I think you were, because that's the point we have the guests on. We want the people to hear their opinions, but...
Okay.
Hey guys, thank you so much for stopping by the podcast. Now you've heard all of our theories. Be sure to tell us what you think is going on as far as the flying Tic Tacs in New Jersey. And
they're not Tic Tacs, they're drones. New Jersey.
Flying Tic Tacs.
Be sure to order your protective hats on screensurger.com. Yes. They'll be going live for $499. They will keep you safe, guys. They come with a certificate of authenticity. Check them out.
Yes.